from our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zahra Syed. Our top story tonight. Pakistan's Islamabad High Court has acquitted former Prime Minister Imran Khan and former Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in the Cipher case. IHC Chief Justice Amir Farooq and Justice Mian Gul Hassan Aurangzeb has announced the verdict on Monday. This was after accepting the appeals of the former premier and diplomat against their convictions in the case. The court order says they shall be released forthwith, if not incarcerated in any other case. However, Khan and Qureshi are not expected to be released from the prison due to Khan's sentence in another case known as the Iddat case, which was transferred to another judge today. As well, Qureshi was arrested in recent cases relating to anti-government protests held on May 9th. Qureshi is on physical remand until Wednesday. Khan and Qureshi have, since their incarceration last year, said the cases against them were politically motivated by opponents who wanted to see Khan and his party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, stripped of power. Israel has killed at least 40 Palestinians and wounded 150 others in the past 24 hours as it continues to target Gaza. The Israeli army says it targeted 50 sites. Israeli forces killed at least 21 Palestinians Monday morning in artillery shelling on the Tel al-Hawa and the Zaytun neighborhoods in southern Gaza City. An airstrike in the Sabra neighborhood killed 4. In a separate incident, 6 Palestinians, mostly women and children, were killed in Israeli bombardment on a house in the Burej refugee camp. Meanwhile, rescue teams have so far recovered more than 120 bodies from the rubble in Jabalia camp since Israel ended a 20-day siege of the area on Friday. Since October 7th, at least 36,479 Palestinians have been killed and 82,777 wounded. The International Court of Justice has ordered Israel to halt its operations in Rafah, accusing Tel Aviv of genocide. University of Chicago students boycotted the school's graduation ceremony on Saturday. This was for the college's refusal to grant degrees to 4 students involved in peaceful Free-Palestine protests. Yusuf Hawa, one of the seniors affected, emphasized this cause over his diploma. The boycott led to a disruption with calls to end Israel's genocide in Gaza. Students walked out of the ceremony and demonstrated, with some draped in Palestinian flags and keffiyeh scarves. University officials affirmed the students' rights to express opinions, but faced criticism for dismantling the peaceful sit-in. Students at Columbia University have started a new peaceful protest named Welfare Rebellion, following the dismantling of the Gaza Solidarity Camp by New York police. A number of alumni backed their cause. Despite limited campus access, students held a news conference criticizing the university's security measures. Mahmoud Khalil, speaking for the group, condemned the violence students faced. Layla Salibah highlighted alumni outrage over the university's actions, citing instances of brutality during previous demonstrations. Despite potential academic risks, speakers emphasized solidarity with Palestinians. Following the conference, alumni staged a demonstration with slogans supporting Palestine. The protest advocated for peace and condemning violence. The graduates carried banners with messages such as "Don't be for genocide," "Alumni support students," "No more money for war machines," and "Let Palestine live."
Since our first encampment, the main message was Gaza. Now the main message is Rafah, and we want to keep this centralized. That Palestine, what's happening in Palestine, is centralized.
The media can say whatever they want, but ultimately what we are doing is about Palestine and about what is going on in Rafah, and we've made that as clear as possible. Also want to say that this is something very personal for many students. Many Palestinian students at Columbia have lost family. We strongly feel that the university needs to change their course of action.
I think there's a multitude of factors. I mean, we already said from the get-go that we would not leave until Columbia divests from genocide and apartheid in general. But again, the horrific invasion of Rafah, which was supposed to be a red line. I mean, Israel has threatened the ICC. It's clear that international law is not stepping in here, so the students have to take things into our own hands, and we have to say this is enough. We have to pressure our universities, grassroots, from the ground up, and say we need divestment, we need to make this stop.
A parade held annually in New York City for Israel Day was countered by demonstrators showing their support for Palestine. The parade began amid Israel's relentless 8-month-old war on Gaza that has killed over 36,000 Palestinians, including thousands of children and women. Those marching for Israel Day confronted the group protesting Israel's war and human rights violations in Palestine. Verbal arguments broke out between the two groups. Anadolu news agency photojournalist Fateh Aktas encountered police violence while covering a Free Palestine demonstration in Brooklyn, New York. Video footage reveals Aktas being forcefully shoved by a police officer, causing him to fall to the ground, injuring his elbow. Despite the injury, Aktas persisted in covering the story with the support of his colleagues. Turkey's communications director condemned the attack, emphasizing the importance of press freedom. The protests held outside the Brooklyn Museum were in solidarity with Palestine and particularly condemned Israeli attacks on Gaza. Police detained numerous protesters. There were also reports of officers assaulting demonstrators, including a female protester. A knife attack at anti-Islam event in Germany. Police shoot the attacker. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. German police shot and wounded a 25-year-old Afghan man who attacked a right-wing anti-Islam demonstration in Mannheim, Germany. The demonstration was organized by the Pax Europa movement. The attacker, who is from the city of Heppenheim, injured 5 attendees and stabbed a police officer who is now in critical condition. Activist Michael Sturzenberger was amongst the injured. Although police declared no further danger, the assailant's motives remain undisclosed. Chancellor Olaf Scholz condemned the attack, while Interior Minister Nancy Faeser warned of the threat of violence. The incident has stirred debates on immigration and Islamophobia ahead of the European Parliament election later this week. A Moroccan journalist based in Paris plans to appeal France's prohibition on Muslim women wearing hijabs and press ID card photos. Manal Fakihi's application for a press ID card was rejected due to this regulation, prompting her to take legal action. Authorities who issue press ID cards reaffirmed their stance, citing the need for strict photo standards for media cards to ensure credibility and security. The Commission de la Carte d'Identité des Journalistes Professionnels emphasized impartiality in issuing IDs unaffected by political or religious affiliations. France has banned all headwear in national identification photos since 2009. Analysts say Faki's challenge reflects broader debates regarding religious expression and cultural diversity in France's social and legal frameworks. A recent law graduate, Jinan Shihad, filed a lawsuit against law firm Foley & Lardner, alleging the firm rescinded her job offer due to her views on Israel's war on Gaza. Hired in July, Shihad was informed the night before her October start date that her offer was revoked. The firm cited her social media and public speech content as reasons for the withdrawal. The lawsuit claims discrimination based on Shihad's Arab-Muslim background. It describes an intense interrogation by firm partners over her online posts and familial associations with the mosque. Shihad said she was told her actions did not align with the firm's values and could make others uncomfortable. A number of employers, including law firms across the United States, have punished supporters of Palestinian human rights since Israel began its war on Gaza in October by rescinding offers. People have faced backlash for their stances, including law students who were amongst the first affected. A recent poll reveals conflicting views amongst Americans regarding the fairness of former President Donald Trump's trial in the New York hush money case. The survey conducted by CBS News YouGov shows that 54% of independents believe Trump received a fair trial. However, 46% of respondents disagree. Overall, 56% of adults perceive the trial as fair. Similarly, 57% believe the jury reached the right verdict, with 43% dissenting. Partisan differences are stark, with 96% of Democrats supporting the trial's fairness and verdict, while 86% of the Republicans find it unfair. The data highlights the deep divisions in public opinion regarding Trump's legal woes. Trump's own criticism, branding the trial as rigged, and slamming the judge fuels the debate. His recent comments likening himself to a political prisoner underscored the intensity of post-verdict reactions. A 27-year-old man was killed and 24 others wounded during a shooting at a birthday party in Akron, Ohio. Police responded after midnight following reports of gunfire and multiple casualties. The party, attended by more than 200 people, turned into a scene of terror. Akron Police Chief Brian Harding said the shooting will likely involve someone firing from a passing vehicle, triggering possible retaliation from attendees. The aftermath revealed a street strewn with spent shell casings, indicating a fierce exchange of gunfire. Multiple handguns were recovered, but authorities are yet to identify suspects or the vehicle involved. Police are urging community cooperation to aid the investigation. Mexicans have elected their first ever female and first Jewish president. Claudia Sheinbaum won by a landslide on Sunday, garnering 58% of the votes, according to the National Electoral Institute. The 61-year-old climate scientist and former mayor of Mexico City takes the helm at a history-making moment in the country, which is currently plagued by rampant crime and gender-based violence. Sheinbaum promised that she would not let Mexico down in her first remarks after the victory. Queen of Pop, Madonna, is facing a class action lawsuit following claims of exposing attendees to explicit content. Plaintiff Justice Lepel filed the lawsuit in California, alleging Madonna and Live Nation enticed fans to purchase expensive tickets under false pretenses. Court documents reveal accusations of attendees being unexpectedly subjected to live pornography on stage, causing discomfort. The lawsuit contends Madonna worsened the situation by turning off the air conditioning and encouraging people to undress. It alleges the act created a hot and uncomfortable atmosphere, leading to some attendees feeling physically unwell. That's all from our Toronto studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content to Muslims in North America and around the world. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Assalamu alaikum and good night.